What do you do if you think you might have ADHD?
I always recommend GPs as a first point of contact. GPs for adults, pediatricians for kids. They are a wealth of knowledge and they can point you in the right direction after having that initial consultation with you. Ultimately, a psychologist or a psychiatrist can diagnose an adult with ADHD or a pediatrician for a child. A psychiatrist will do quite an in-depth clinical interview with you and usually administer some questionnaires. Usually these are filled out by the person who thinks they have ADHD, but also often the parents as well, because it's asking parents to think back to when you were a child, did little Bobby do these things? The reason for this is it's a developmental condition. It should start in childhood. If it's not present in childhood, if you suddenly have this onset of symptoms in adulthood that was not there in childhood, then we would probably not be looking at ADHD and maybe some other sort of either mental health or even neurological condition that might be going on. Okay, so we really have to see that stability across time. That's what a psychiatrist will do. A psychologist will also do this sort of in-depth clinical interview with someone, but they can also do neuropsychological tests. So they might do things like an IQ test, an academic test, and other sort of tests that assess for different types of attentional functioning. And what you get at the end of this is a big, long, comprehensive report that basically gives you your neuropsychological profile. So it'll explain your IQ, your working memory, how fast you can process information, all these different parts of what your brain and your executive function can do. Psychiatrists tend not to do that. So there's a point of difference there in terms of the process that we might go through to get diagnosed. Now, another difference is that psychologists can't prescribe medication. So if someone does want to pursue a pathway or consider a pathway of medication, then they would be looking at seeing a psychiatrist for that.
If you're not sure whether to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist, would that discussion be had with your GP?
It absolutely can be. And if someone really is feeling like they have potentially severe ADHD and would be very open to that pathway of attaining medication, if that was the right treatment for them, then sometimes it's best to go to a psychiatrist from the start because these things are also expensive, right? Let's not shy away from that fact.
Yeah, totally.
The costs add up. The reason people might want to see a psychologist first is because they get that profile of themselves. And for some people, that's really helpful for them to understand almost in small ways how different parts of their brain and brain functioning work. So that can be a really validating and informative process for some people.